The beginning. Denzil Theobald was born on June 27, 1982, in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. Growing up in the vibrant football culture of Trinidad and Tobago, Theobald developed an early passion for the game. He honed his skills in the local leagues, where his natural talent for midfield play became apparent. With a keen sense of positioning, sharp passing ability, and an eye for controlling the tempo of the game, Theobald quickly rose through the ranks. His early footballing journey saw him playing for local clubs, which provided the platform for him to showcase his abilities and gain recognition as a promising young talent. Career peak. Theobald's career took off when he joined Caledonia AIA, a prominent club in Trinidad and Tobago's professional football league. His performances as a central midfielder earned him accolades and solidified his reputation as a tactician on the field. Known for his composure under pressure and his ability to link defense and attack seamlessly, he became a linchpin for his club's success. Internationally, Theobald was an integral part of the Trinidad and Tobago national team during its golden era. He was a member of the historic Soca Warriors squad that qualified for the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany, a first for the Caribbean nation. Theobald featured in all three group stage matches of the tournament, including the famous match against Sweden, where Trinidad and Tobago earned a hard-fought draw despite being reduced to 10 men. His performance in the World Cup showcased his ability to compete on the global stage and cemented his place as one of the country's top midfielders. Theobald also had brief stints abroad, playing for Falkirk in Scotland and Dempo SC in India. While his time in Europe and Asia was not as prolific as his domestic career, it provided him with valuable international experience and exposure to diverse playing styles. Main achievements. Denzil Theobald's career is highlighted by his role in Trinidad and Tobago's historic 2006 World Cup campaign. His steady presence in midfield was crucial during the qualification process and in the tournament itself. Representing his country on the world's biggest stage remains one of the defining achievements of his career and a source of immense national pride. At the club level, Theobald was a key figure for Caledonia AIA, helping the team secure multiple domestic titles, including the TT Pro League and the FA Trophy. His leadership on and off the field earned him the captain's armband, and he was instrumental in the club's runs in regional competitions, such as the CONCACAF Champions League. Theobald was also a consistent presence in the Trinidad and Tobago national team for over a decade, earning more than 90 caps. He participated in several editions of the CONCACAF Gold Cup and Caribbean Cup, contributing to the team's successes in regional tournaments. Last years. As Theobald approached the later stages of his playing career, he transitioned into a mentoring role, using his experience to guide younger players both at the club and international levels. His final years on the field were marked by his commitment to the growth of football in Trinidad and Tobago, where he continued to play for and support local clubs. Upon retiring from professional football, Theobald remained actively involved in the sport. He dedicated himself to youth development, coaching, and community initiatives aimed at nurturing the next generation of football talent. His leadership qualities and deep understanding of the game made him a respected figure in the Trinidad and Tobago football community. Denzil Theobald's legacy lies not only in his on-field achievements but also in his contributions to the development of football in his homeland. He is remembered as a player who combined technical skill with unwavering dedication and as a role model for aspiring footballers in Trinidad and Tobago.
Early life and background. Stern. John was born on February 20, 1976, in the capital city of Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. Raised in a country where football holds a special place in the hearts of its people, John's passion for the sport was cultivated from a young age. Growing up in the vibrant streets of Port of Spain, he was exposed to the football culture early on. His father, a former football player himself, recognized his son's talent, and it wasn't long before Stern was enrolled in youth football programs. Trinidad and Tobago is known for its rich football history, and John, with his natural talent, was quickly immersed in the country's footballing culture. Football was more than just a pastime for the young John. It was his passion and ambition. He began playing for local youth teams where he was noticed for his speed, agility, and clinical finishing. As a teenager, John was already a highly regarded player in the Trinidad and Tobago football scene. His youth years were marked by competitive matches in various local leagues, where he showcased his skill and tenacity. John's performances began to draw the attention of professional teams, and he made the leap from local football to the professional ranks early in his career. His ability to play as a striker made him a dangerous threat to defenders, and his early years in football set the stage for what would become a distinguished career. Rise to prominence in Trinidad and Tobago. John's professional football career began in the late 1990s when he joined the Trinidad and Tobago Pro League. His first major professional club was Joe Public FC, one of the top teams in the country. Playing for Joe Public, John quickly established himself as one of the league's most talented young strikers. His scoring ability and on-field intelligence were evident, and it wasn't long before he became the focal point of the team's attacking play. John's performances in the Pro League earned him a call-up to the Trinidad and Tobago national team, and he made his international debut at the age of 18. His physicality, combined with his excellent positioning and finishing skills, made him a standout player for the national team from the very start. His speed and work rate were key attributes, and it was clear that he had the potential to become one of the best forwards in the region. In his early years with the national team, John made significant contributions to Trinidad and Tobago's football success. His performances in the Caribbean Cup and World Cup qualifiers caught the eye of international scouts, and it wasn't long before the young striker attracted attention from clubs abroad. Move to England and Premier League career. John's talent did not go unnoticed by European clubs, and in 1998, he made the move to England, signing with Birmingham City in the Football League First Division, now the Championship. The move to Europe marked a significant step in his career, as he transitioned from the local Pro League to the more competitive footballing environment of English football. At Birmingham City, John began his professional journey in a new, highly competitive league, one that would allow him to test his skills against some of the best defenders in the world. Initially, John struggled to break into the first team, but his talent was undeniable. After a series of solid performances, he became an important figure at the club. His aerial ability, physical presence, and clinical finishing were key to his success as a striker. While his time at Birmingham City was short, it was a crucial period in John's development as a professional footballer, as it exposed him to the high standards of European football. John's first notable period in the English leagues came when he moved to Coventry City in 2000. At Coventry, John found his stride. Under manager Gordon Strachan, John played regularly and became the club's main attacking threat. He proved his worth with a series of important goals, including some vital strikes in the Premier League. His excellent positioning, sharp finishing, and ability to hold up the ball made him a complete forward. During his time at Coventry City, John became one of the Premier League's more respected forwards. His pace and ability to convert chances into goals made him a consistent presence in the team. The Trinidad and Tobago striker quickly became known for his ability to score crucial goals, both in domestic competition and in international fixtures with his national team. International career and the 2006 World Cup. John's time in the Premier League also coincided with one of the most important periods in the history of Trinidad and Tobago football: the qualification for the 2006 FIFA World Cup. The country's national team, known as the Soca Warriors, had never qualified for a World Cup before, and the prospect of reaching the tournament was a momentous one for the small Caribbean nation. John played an instrumental role in the Soca Warriors' historic World Cup qualification. His goals and leadership on the pitch were crucial throughout the campaign. His powerful performances in the final round of World Cup qualification helped propel Trinidad and Tobago to a place in the 2006 World Cup in Germany. It was a milestone achievement not only for John but also for the entire nation, as Trinidad and Tobago became the smallest country to ever qualify for a World Cup at the time. In the 2006 World Cup, John was one of the key players for the Soca Warriors. Although Trinidad and Tobago did not advance beyond the group stage, the team's efforts were widely praised, and their historic qualification captured the hearts of football fans across the Caribbean. John's leadership and dedication on the world stage solidified his place as one of the country's greatest footballers. His goal-scoring ability and experience were invaluable assets to the national team during this unforgettable period in Trinidad and Tobago's football history. playing career in the United States and later years. After his time in the Premier League, Stern John took his talents to Major League Soccer, MLS, in the United States, where he continued his professional career. In 2006, he joined the Columbus Crew, marking his first foray into MLS. During his time with the Crew, John continued to display his goal-scoring abilities, becoming an important figure in the team's attacking setup. He formed a potent partnership with fellow striker Ante Razov, and the two players contributed significantly to the team's successes. John's time in MLS was marked by consistent performances, and he quickly adapted to the pace and physicality of American football. His ability to link up play, hold up the ball, and score goals made him a valuable asset for the Columbus Crew. His leadership on and off the field also helped guide the team to competitive finishes in the league, and his influence extended beyond just his footballing ability, as he served as an inspiration for younger players. In 2009, John moved to the Miami FC, continuing his time in the United States. His later years in Miami saw him continue to impress with his performances, though his playing time began to wind down as he approached the latter stages of his career. However, even in the twilight years of his professional career, John remained a valuable player, offering experience, leadership, and an eye for goal. Retirement and legacy. Stern John officially retired from professional football in 2014, bringing an end to a remarkable career that spanned nearly 2 decades. After hanging up his boots, John remained involved in football, taking on coaching roles and mentoring younger players. His contributions to Trinidad and Tobago's football legacy were immense, and he remains a national hero for his role in the country's historic World Cup qualification, and for his consistently high-level performances over the years. As one of the best strikers in Trinidad and Tobago's history, John's legacy is firmly established. He remains a symbol of excellence and dedication for the next generation of footballers in his homeland. His remarkable rise from local leagues to international football, including his time in the Premier League, MLS, and the World Cup, set an example for aspiring players in the Caribbean and beyond. Stern John's career is a testament to the power of hard work, determination, and natural talent. He achieved success on the international stage, representing his country with pride, and earned the admiration of fans worldwide. Today, John's impact continues to be felt, both through his footballing achievements and his ongoing work in mentoring and developing future generations of footballers.
The beginning. David Ataba Charles was born on September 29, 1977, in Point Fortin, Trinidad and Tobago, a town well known for its passionate embrace of football. Growing up in a country where the sport is deeply ingrained in the culture, Charles demonstrated an early interest in football, often playing in the streets and local fields. His physical presence, combined with a natural aptitude for the game, allowed him to stand out among his peers. As a youth, he honed his skills at local clubs, eventually earning a reputation as a dependable defender with a strong tactical understanding and unwavering determination. His early years set the foundation for what would become a significant career in both domestic and international football. Career peak. David Ataba Charles's professional career gained momentum when he joined the Trinidad and Tobago Professional Football League. He played for several local clubs, including W Connection and San Juan Jablote, where his consistency and leadership skills shone. His performances in the domestic league earned him recognition and a place in the national team. Charles was part of the historic Trinidad and Tobago squad that qualified for the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany, the first and only time the nation has reached football's biggest stage. Although he did not feature prominently in the tournament matches, his inclusion in the squad reflected his importance as a reliable defender and a key team player during the qualification campaign. The qualification was a monumental achievement for the country and brought immense pride to its people. His professional career also extended beyond Trinidad and Tobago. Charles had a stint in the United States, playing for the Rochester Rhinos in the USL First Division. During his time with the Rhinos, he reinforced his reputation as a solid defender, bringing his characteristic composure and strength to the back line. His time abroad exposed him to a higher level of competition and allowed him to develop further as a player. Main achievements. David Ataba Charles's career is marked by several notable achievements. Foremost among them was his contribution to Trinidad and Tobago's qualification for the 2006 FIFA World Cup. This accomplishment placed him among the elite group of players representing a nation on the global stage, making him a celebrated figure in Trinidad and Tobago football history. Domestically, he was instrumental in helping his club secure titles in the Trinidad and Tobago Professional Football League. At W Connection, one of the nation's premier football clubs, Charles contributed to their dominance in the league, helping the team secure league titles and domestic cups. His leadership on the field and his ability to marshal the defense were crucial to these successes. On the international stage, Charles earned over 30 caps for Trinidad and Tobago, participating in several CONCACAF Gold Cups and regional tournaments. While he was not the most high-profile player, his consistency and work ethic ensured he was a valued member of the Soca Warriors during his tenure. Last years. As Charles approached the twilight of his playing career, he continued to contribute to the sport at the local level, playing for smaller clubs and mentoring younger players. His experience and knowledge became valuable assets, and he transitioned into roles that emphasized leadership and guidance. Even as his on-field contributions diminished, his passion for football remained evident. After retiring from professional football, Charles stayed involved in the sport, focusing on youth development and grassroots initiatives in Trinidad and Tobago. His dedication to giving back to his community and fostering the next generation of talent demonstrated his commitment to the game and his country. David Adaba Charles remains a respected figure in Trinidad and Tobago football, remembered not only for his role in the historic 2006 World Cup campaign but also for his professionalism and the inspiration he provided to aspiring players. His journey from a young boy in Point Fortin to an international footballer symbolizes the potential of perseverance and dedication in the world of sports.
Early life and beginnings. Carlos Edwards was born on November 24, 1978, in the town of Arouca, located in the central region of Trinidad and Tobago. Growing up in a country where football, soccer, is a national passion, Edwards was introduced to the sport at a very young age. His family, with strong ties to the local football community, played a vital role in fostering his interest in the game. The rural community of Arouca was rich in football talent, and Edwards quickly became immersed in the local football culture, developing a love for the game that would shape the course of his life. As a young boy, Edwards played football with his friends in the streets, at school, and in local parks. His early exposure to the game helped him develop his raw talent. Known for his speed, agility, and technical ability, Edwards stood out even at a young age. His passion and potential did not go unnoticed, and by his early teenage years, he began playing for the youth teams of local clubs. These early playing experiences allowed him to develop his skills and understanding of the game, giving him the tools to eventually pursue a professional football career. The football culture in Trinidad and Tobago played a crucial role in Edwards' development. The country is known for its talent and competitive football scene, and the streets of Arouca served as a breeding ground for future stars. Edwards quickly gained recognition for his pace, dribbling skills, and attacking instinct, which made him a standout talent in his youth teams. His early success set the stage for his eventual rise to prominence in both the national team and European club football. Professional career in Trinidad and Tobago. Edwards' professional career began when he joined the ranks of local club San Juan Jablote in the early 1990s. The club, based in the town of San Juan, was one of the most successful in Trinidad and Tobago's domestic league and provided Edwards with the ideal platform to showcase his talent. His time at Jablote was crucial in shaping his career, as he developed his attacking abilities and gained valuable experience playing against some of the best players in the region. At Jablote, Edwards honed his skills as a winger and forward, positions that allowed him to use his natural pace and dribbling ability to great effect. His exceptional performances at the domestic level earned him a place in the Trinidad and Tobago national team. Edwards was called up to represent his country in international competitions, where he quickly became known for his flair and attacking style of play. His ability to create scoring opportunities and provide assists made him an integral part of the national team's offensive unit. Edwards' talent did not go unnoticed, and his performances with Jablote helped him gain a reputation as one of the top young players in Trinidad and Tobago. His ability to deliver in high-pressure situations, coupled with his technical skill and athleticism, made him an appealing prospect for clubs abroad. It was only a matter of time before he caught the attention of scouts from European clubs looking to add flair and creativity to their squads. Moved to England and early years at Luton Town. In 2000, Edwards made the significant move to England, joining the Football League club Luton Town. The move to a more competitive and demanding environment marked a major turning point in his career. It was in the English Football League, EFL, that Edwards would truly begin to make a name for himself as a dynamic and exciting winger. At Luton Town, he was able to showcase his skills in a highly competitive environment, which helped him grow as a player. Edwards' first few years at Luton Town were filled with challenges as he adapted to life in England. He had to adjust to the pace and intensity of English football, but his natural talent and determination helped him settle in quickly. His performances on the wing were instrumental in Luton Town's success during his tenure at the club. Known for his pace, flair, and dribbling skills, Edwards became a fan favorite, thrilling supporters with his runs down the touchline and his ability to create goal-scoring opportunities. As Luton Town fought for promotion to higher leagues, Edwards was a standout performer. He contributed both as a goal scorer and a provider, assisting numerous goals and being a constant threat on the right wing. His time at Luton Town was marked by his ability to take on defenders and his eye for an accurate cross. He earned the respect of both his teammates and coaches, and his performances did not go unnoticed by the Trinidad and Tobago national team selectors. International career. Edwards made his debut for the Trinidad and Tobago national team in 1998. And from then on, he became a key figure for his country on the international stage. His technical ability, combined with his pace and agility, made him one of the most dangerous attacking players for the Soca Warriors. Edwards played a crucial role in helping Trinidad and Tobago qualify for their first ever FIFA World Cup in 2006. In the qualification rounds for the 2006 World Cup, Edwards was instrumental in the team's progress, contributing with key performances and assists. His partnership with other key players such as Dwight Yorke, Stern John, and Russell Latipi proved vital in securing Trinidad and Tobago's place in the World Cup. The country's qualification for the 2006 tournament in Germany was a monumental achievement in the history of Trinidad and Tobago football, and Edwards was rightfully proud to be part of the squad. During the 2006 World Cup, Trinidad and Tobago made a valiant effort in their group matches, facing heavyweights like England, Sweden, and Paraguay. Though the team was ultimately eliminated in the group stage, their performances were widely praised. Edwards' speed, flair, and technical ability were on full display during these matches, and he was regarded as one of the standout players of the tournament for his country. His contributions to the national team during this time solidified his status as one of the greatest players in Trinidad and Tobago's football history. Edwards continued to play for Trinidad and Tobago for many years after the 2006 World Cup, making appearances in various international competitions, including the CONCACAF Gold Cup and World Cup qualifiers. He remained a vital part of the Soca Warriors, bringing his experience, leadership, and creative play to the team. Success at Sunderland and further club career. After his successful spell at Luton Town, Edwards continued his career in England with a move to Sunderland in 2006, following his World Cup success. At Sunderland, Edwards was able to take his game to the next level, playing in the Premier League, one of the toughest and most competitive leagues in world football. His time at Sunderland was marked by solid performances, but despite his best efforts, the club faced challenges in maintaining their Premier League status. Though his time in Sunderland was not as prolific as his time at Luton Town, Edwards continued to showcase his individual skills, making runs down the wing and providing his teammates with assists. His experience in the Premier League was invaluable, and he played a key role in Sunderland's bid to avoid relegation. Throughout his years in England, Edwards' pace and attacking contributions earned him respect in the English footballing community. After his stint at Sunderland, Edwards moved on to other clubs, including Ipswich Town and Wrexham, continuing his career at a lower level, but still contributing with his technical ability, leadership, and experience. His later years as a professional footballer allowed him to mentor younger players and help them develop their skills, passing on the knowledge he had gained throughout his illustrious career. Early life and background. Marcelo Bielsa was born on July 21, 1955, in the city of Rosario, Argentina. Raised in a middle-class family with strong ties to football, Bielsa's upbringing was significantly influenced by the sport. His father, Rafael Bielsa, was a lawyer and a football enthusiast, and this passion for the game was passed down to Marcelo. Growing up in a city known for producing some of Argentina's greatest footballers, including Lionel Messi and Angel Di Maria, Bielsa's early exposure to football was shaped by Rosario's rich football culture. From a young age, Bielsa was immersed in football both as a player and as a fan. He was known for his keen interest in tactics and strategy, which distinguished him from many of his peers. Although Bielsa had aspirations to play professional football, he was not as physically gifted as some of his contemporaries. This led him to focus more on the intellectual side of the game, where he developed a deep understanding of football tactics, formations, and team management. In his early teens, Bielsa joined the youth ranks of Newell's Old Boys, one of Rosario's most iconic football clubs. There, he spent several years honing his skills as a player. Although Bielsa showed promise as a central defender, he eventually had to retire from playing due to a series of injuries. His premature end to his playing career set the stage for his future as a coach, as he turned his attention to studying football management and tactics. Beginning of coaching career. Marcelo Bielsa's journey as a football manager began in the early 1980s, when he was just 26 years old. He started his coaching career in the lower leagues of Argentina, working with youth teams before making his way to senior football. Bielsa's first significant managerial appointment came in 1990 when he took charge of the Argentine club, Newell's Old Boys, the same club he had played for during his youth. His time at Newell's marked the beginning of a coaching career that would earn him a reputation for his innovative tactics and unwavering commitment to attacking football. Bielsa's approach to coaching was different from that of many of his contemporaries. He focused on building a dynamic, aggressive team, always emphasizing possession, high pressing, and relentless movement. His teams were known for their intensity, pressing high up the pitch, and constantly looking to overwhelm opponents with attacking play. This style of football, which later came to be known as Bielsa ball, set him apart from many other coaches of his time. During his first spell at Newell's, Bielsa achieved considerable success. Under his leadership, the club won the Argentine Primera Division title in 1991, and his style of play quickly gained attention. Newell's Old Boys became a model for attacking football, combining technical skill, fluidity, and a strong defensive foundation. It was clear that Bielsa was developing a unique coaching philosophy that would later influence many of the world's top managers. Rise to prominence in Argentina. After his successful stint with Newell's, Marcelo Bielsa moved to another major Argentine club, Atlas in Mexico, where he spent a brief time before returning to Argentina to take charge of Vélez Sarsfield. Under his management, Vélez enjoyed a period of significant success, culminating in the 1994 Argentine Championship. Bielsa's time at Vélez was marked by his ability to integrate youth players into the senior squad while maintaining high standards on the field. His approach to nurturing young talent while instilling a winning mentality made him a well-respected figure in Argentine football. Bielsa's stock continued to rise, and by the mid-1990s, he had earned the opportunity to manage the Argentina national team. This was a major turning point in his career, and his time with the national team would solidify his place in football history. His philosophy of high-intensity, attacking football, combined with his deep knowledge of tactics, led him to take Argentina to new heights. While his tenure was not without its challenges, Bielsa became widely recognized for his ability to influence the way teams approach the game. Argentina national team and 2002 World Cup. Bielsa's appointment as head coach of the Argentina national team in 1998 was met with great anticipation. He inherited a team full of talent, including world-class players like Gabriel Batistuta, Ariel Ortega, and Javier Zanetti. Bielsa's coaching philosophy was evident from the outset, as he implemented a highly organized defensive structure combined with an attacking philosophy that sought to dominate possession and control the tempo of the game. Under Bielsa, Argentina flourished during World Cup qualifying, producing impressive results and playing an exciting style of football. His emphasis on pressing, quick transitions, and fluid attacking movements saw Argentina dominate many of their opponents. The team reached the final of the 2004 Copa America but suffered a heartbreaking defeat in the final to Brazil, which was a huge blow. However, the 2002 FIFA World Cup in South Korea and Japan proved to be a major setback for Bielsa. Despite going into the tournament as one of the favorites, Argentina struggled in the group stages, losing to England and drawing with Sweden, which led to an early exit. The disappointment of the World Cup ultimately led to Bielsa's resignation, but his tenure with Argentina was a testament to his commitment to playing an exciting and modern style of football. While his time with the national team was short-lived, it was also one of the most transformative periods in Argentine football, the Chile era. After his time with Argentina, Bielsa found success once again when he took over as head coach of the Chile national team in 2007. This period in Bielsa's career is often seen as one of the most successful and significant of his coaching journey. Bielsa arrived in Chile at a time when the national team was in a state of flux, struggling to produce consistent results. However, Bielsa's impact was immediate. He introduced a high-pressing, attacking style of play that emphasized fluidity, quick ball movement, and positional flexibility. His Chile team became known for their relentless energy, playing with high intensity both offensively and defensively. Under Bielsa, Chile qualified for the 2010 FIFA World Cup, and their performances in the tournament, although falling short of expectations, were indicative of the progress they had made. His approach to developing young players also paid off, as Chile's national team became one of the most exciting and talented in South America. Bielsa's time in Chile cemented his status as one of the most influential managers in international football. He turned the Chilean national team into one of the most feared teams in South America, with a style of play that was both aggressive and highly technical. Even after his departure, Bielsa's impact on Chilean football continued, and many of the players who flourished under him, including Arturo Vidal, Alexis Sanchez, and Gary Medel, went on to achieve great success at club and international level. Early life and background. Cornell Glenn was born on August 13, 1981, in the city of Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. From a young age, it was clear that Glenn had a natural affinity for football. Growing up in a country where football is one of the most beloved sports, he was exposed to the game early on, playing with his friends and relatives in the streets of his neighborhood. His athleticism, quickness, and love for the game caught the attention of those around him, and soon, football would become his calling. Trinidad and Tobago's football culture played a significant role in shaping Glenn's passion for the sport. With many youth leagues and informal street games taking place throughout the country, he quickly found himself immersed in the football scene. His first steps into the world of competitive football came when he joined a local club team at the age of 10. His skills were soon noticed by scouts, and he was invited to represent his country at the youth level, an experience that set him on the path to a professional career. Growing up in a working-class family, Glenn's journey was not without challenges. The support of his parents, who recognized his potential, was crucial during his formative years. His parents encouraged him to pursue his passion for football, even though they understood the difficulties involved in breaking into professional sport. Glenn's early dedication and hard work paid off as he quickly gained a reputation as a player with exceptional talent. Rise to prominence in Trinidad and Tobago. Glenn's journey to professional football truly began with his involvement in local club teams, where he first showcased his skills as an attacking player. He joined the famous club team San Juan Jablote, one of Trinidad and Tobago's premier football clubs, at a young age. His time with Jablote was formative, as it provided him with the chance to compete in top-level domestic football while simultaneously learning from experienced coaches and teammates. Glenn's development during this period was marked by his dynamic attacking play, strong dribbling, and a knack for scoring goals. His time at Jablote helped Glenn hone his natural abilities, and he quickly became known as one of the most promising young talents in Trinidad and Tobago. His performances in the local league didn't go unnoticed, and it wasn't long before he earned a call-up to the Trinidad and Tobago national team. His speed and flair made him a constant threat on the field, and it became clear that he was destined for bigger things in the world of football. During his time with Jablote, Glenn was part of several successful seasons, helping the team compete for league titles and perform well in regional competitions. It was also during this time that he began to attract interest from clubs abroad, particularly in Europe and North America, eager to see what the young Trinidadian forward could offer. His ability to create scoring opportunities, his pace, and his work ethic were all qualities that made him stand out from his peers in the local league. Move to Europe and FC Copenhagen. In 2002, Cornell Glen took the leap to European football, signing with Danish side FC Copenhagen, one of the biggest and most successful clubs in Denmark. The move to Denmark marked a new chapter in Glen's career, as he was about to experience the competitive nature of European football for the first time. Moving from the warm, tropical climate of Trinidad and Tobago to the colder, more intense atmosphere of Northern Europe presented new challenges. But Glen was eager to prove himself on the continental stage. At FC Copenhagen, Glen quickly adapted to the demands of European football. He joined a team that was a dominant force in Denmark and had a rich tradition of success in European competitions. Glen's speed and technical ability made him a natural fit in Copenhagen's attacking setup, and he soon earned a reputation as one of the most exciting players on the team. His performances in Denmark's top division, the Danish Superliga, earned him praise from fans and critics alike, and it wasn't long before he became one of the key players for FC Copenhagen. During his time at the club, Glen helped the team secure several domestic titles, and his consistent performances earned him a place in the UEFA competitions. He became known for his pace, precision, and ability to score crucial goals. Whether playing as a winger, forward, or attacking midfielder, Glen's versatility allowed him to contribute to the team in multiple ways. His stay at Copenhagen proved to be an important learning experience for Glen, exposing him to high-level football and laying the foundation for his future career in Europe. International career and the 2006 World Cup. Glen's performances at FC Copenhagen did not go unnoticed by the Trinidad and Tobago national team coaches. And in 2006, he was an integral part of the squad that made history by qualifying for the FIFA World Cup in Germany. This was a monumental achievement for Trinidad and Tobago, as it marked the first time the country had ever qualified for the prestigious tournament. Glen's contributions to the national team's qualification campaign were vital, and he was one of the standout performers in the final stages of the qualification process. The 2006 World Cup was a dream come true for Glen, and it remains one of the most significant moments in his career. Playing in a tournament that featured some of the world's best players was an unforgettable experience, and it helped establish Glen as a prominent figure in international football. Although Trinidad and Tobago were placed in a challenging group alongside England, Sweden, and Paraguay, the team, led by coach Leo Beenhakker, held their own and earned respect on the global stage. Glen played an important role in Trinidad and Tobago's World Cup campaign, featuring in the team's 3 matches in the group stage. While the team did not advance past the group stage, their performances were a testament to the progress Trinidad and Tobago had made as a footballing nation. Glen's work rate, energy, and creativity in the attacking third were crucial for the team's success, and he became a fan favorite during the tournament. Following the World Cup, Glen continued to be a key player for the national team, representing Trinidad and Tobago in various regional tournaments, including the CONCACAF Gold Cup. His consistent performances and leadership helped inspire future generations of players from his homeland. Time in North America and the United Soccer League. After his successful stint in Denmark, Glen decided to move to North America, where he signed with the San Jose Earthquakes in Major League Soccer, MLS, in 2007. This move marked another new chapter in his career as he ventured into the competitive landscape of North American soccer. His transition to MLS was smooth, and Glen quickly became a key player for the Earthquakes, contributing with his pace, dribbling, and goal-scoring ability. His performances helped the Earthquakes reach the playoffs in his first season, where he provided valuable experience and leadership to the squad. During his time with San Jose, Glen continued to display his attacking prowess, using his speed to create opportunities for himself and his teammates. His work rate was exemplary, and his presence on the field was always felt. However, after a few seasons in MLS, Glen decided to explore new opportunities in North America, and he moved to the United Soccer League, USL, to play for the Puerto Rico Islanders in 2011. At the Puerto Rico Islanders, Glen enjoyed success on and off the field. The Islanders were one of the top teams in the USL, and Glen's contributions played a significant role in their competitiveness. He continued to showcase his skill and experience in a league that was growing in stature and reputation. Glenn's time in Puerto Rico marked the latter part of his playing career in North America, as he began to transition into a mentorship role, guiding younger players and sharing the knowledge he had gained throughout his career. Early life and background. Russell Latapi was born on November 1968, in Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. Growing up in a country where football is the most popular sport, Latapi's passion for the game developed at a very young age. Raised in a family with a strong love for football, his early years were spent playing the sport in the streets and on local pitches. His talent was evident from the start, and by his early teenage years, he was already considered one of the brightest young footballing talents in Trinidad and Tobago. The son of a football enthusiast, Latapi was encouraged to pursue his love of the sport. His father, who was also a football player, recognized his son's potential and guided him as he navigated his early footballing years. Latapi's natural flair for the game was obvious from the beginning, with his dribbling skills, vision, and passing ability standing out among his peers. These early years laid the foundation for what would become a remarkable career in both club and international football. Trinidad and Tobago, known for its strong footballing culture, provided Latapi with ample opportunities to showcase his talent. Football was not just a pastime in the country but a source of identity and pride. Latapi's development as a player was shaped by the vibrant football community of Port of Spain, and by the time he reached his teenage years, it was clear that he had the potential to make a mark on the professional game. Youth career and early development. Russell Latapi's footballing journey began at the youth level, where he quickly made a name for himself with his impressive technical ability. As a young player, Latapi joined the youth ranks of local clubs, where he honed his skills and began to gain experience in competitive matches. His exceptional ability to control the ball, coupled with his vision and creativity, made him stand out in youth tournaments across Trinidad and Tobago. By the mid-1980s, Latapi's performances at the youth level caught the attention of the senior teams, and he was soon called up to represent Trinidad and Tobago's national youth teams. His ability to shine at a young age was a clear indication of the promise he held for the future. Latapi's early development was influenced by the strong football culture in Trinidad and Tobago, which emphasized technique, creativity, and flair, qualities that would become the hallmark of his playing style. His breakthrough moment came when he was just 17 years old, and Latapi made his senior debut for the Trinidad and Tobago national team in 1985. At the time, Trinidad and Tobago was a rising force in Caribbean football, and the presence of a young Latapi in the national team gave the squad a much-needed spark. He quickly established himself as one of the most gifted players on the team, and his performances in international competitions earned him recognition both at home and abroad. Move to Europe and early club career. Latapi's potential did not go unnoticed by scouts from Europe, and in 1989, at the age of 21, he made the move to Europe to further his career. He joined the Portuguese club, FC Porto, one of the most successful and prestigious clubs in European football. The move to Europe was a significant step for Latapi, as it exposed him to a higher level of competition and helped him develop his game further. At FC Porto, Latapi's technical abilities were put to the test in a more demanding environment. The style of play in European football was faster and more intense than what he had experienced in Trinidad and Tobago. But Latapi's flair and creativity allowed him to thrive. He quickly adapted to the rigors of top-flight football in Europe, and his performances for Porto earned him recognition as one of the most talented attacking midfielders in the country. During his time at Porto, Latapi won several domestic titles, including the Primeira Liga, Portugal's top football league, and the Taça de Portugal. His contributions to the team's success were invaluable, and he was praised for his ability to dictate play from midfield, create chances for his teammates, and score goals himself. His performances in Europe helped establish his reputation as a highly skilled and dynamic midfielder, and he became known for his vision, creativity, and precise passing. International success with Trinidad and Tobago. While Latapi's club career was flourishing in Europe, he also remained a key figure for the Trinidad and Tobago national team. His technical skill, vision, and ability to control the midfield made him one of the best players the country had ever produced. Over the years, he earned numerous caps for the national team, representing his country in multiple international tournaments. Latapi was an integral part of the Trinidad and Tobago squad during the 1990s, playing a key role in the 1991 CONCACAF Gold Cup, where Trinidad and Tobago reached the semi-finals. His performances in the Gold Cup helped solidify his reputation as one of the finest midfielders in the Caribbean. He continued to play a central role for Trinidad and Tobago throughout the 1990s and into the early 2000s. One of Latapi's most memorable international moments came in 2006 when he helped lead Trinidad and Tobago to their first ever FIFA World Cup. His contributions in the qualification campaign were crucial, and his leadership on the pitch inspired the team. The 2006 World Cup in Germany was a historic occasion for Trinidad and Tobago, and Latapi's performances helped the Soca Warriors achieve one of the greatest milestones in their footballing history. Although Trinidad and Tobago were eliminated in the group stage, their performances, particularly in matches against England, Sweden, and Paraguay, earned them respect on the international stage. Latapi's ability to control the midfield in these high-profile matches demonstrated his class and experience at the top level. His leadership and vision were vital for the team as they made their World Cup debut, and his contributions to the national team's success are still remembered by fans in Trinidad and Tobago. Career in Scotland and later years. After his time at FC Porto, Latapi continued his career in Europe with a move to Scotland. He joined the Scottish Premier League club, Hibernian FC, in 1998, where he continued to showcase his skills as a playmaker and attacking midfielder. Latapi enjoyed success at Hibernian, where he quickly became a fan favorite for his technical ability and exciting style of play. Following his stint at Hibernian, Latapi moved to another Scottish club, Rangers FC, one of the biggest and most successful clubs in Scotland. At Rangers, Latapi played alongside some of the best players in the league, including international stars and experienced footballers. His time at Rangers further enhanced his reputation as one of the most gifted midfielders of his generation. Latapi was part of a successful period for the club, winning several Scottish Premier League titles and cup competitions. Latapi's time in Scotland also marked the latter stages of his international career. He continued to represent Trinidad and Tobago in international competitions, including the 2006 World Cup and the 2009 CONCACAF Gold Cup. His performances for both club and country were a testament to his longevity and commitment to the sport. Legacy and post-retirement. Latapi retired from professional football in the early 2010s, after a distinguished career at both club and international levels. By the time he retired, Latapi had become one of the most celebrated players in Trinidad and Tobago's football history. His technical ability, vision, and leadership on the field earned him the admiration of fans and fellow players alike. After retiring from playing, Latapi remained involved in football, transitioning into coaching and football administration. His wealth of experience and knowledge of the game made him a valuable asset to the development of football in Trinidad and Tobago. Latapi worked to mentor younger players and provide guidance on how to succeed at the highest levels of the sport. Latapi's legacy as a player is firmly cemented in the history of both Trinidad and Tobago football and the global football community. His technical brilliance, leadership, and ability to perform on the biggest stages have inspired countless players and fans around the world. He is remembered as one of the finest midfielders to ever grace the game, and his contributions to the success of Trinidad and Tobago football will never be forgotten. Conclusion. Russell Latapi's career is a testament to the power of passion, skill, and determination in football. From his early days in Port of Spain to his successful years in Europe and Scotland, Latapi's talent shone through in every match he played. His technical prowess, creativity, and leadership made him one of the most influential players in Trinidad and Tobago's football history. Even after retirement, Latapi's impact on the game continues to be felt through his work as a coach and mentor, ensuring that his legacy lives on for future generations of players. Early life and background. Kenwyne Jones was born on January 5, 1984, in the small town of San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago. Growing up in a country where football is deeply woven into the fabric of daily life, it was no surprise that Kenwyne's love for the game began at an early age. Raised in a working-class family, he was encouraged to pursue his passion for football, and he quickly developed a reputation for his exceptional ability on the field. His athleticism, strength, and natural talent were evident from his earliest days, and it was clear that football would be his path to success. San Fernando, a city located in the southern part of the island, was a vibrant backdrop for Jones's formative years. His early exposure to the sport came through street football, playing with local kids who shared his passion. Kenwyne's prowess in these informal games caught the attention of local coaches, and by the time he reached his teenage years, he was playing for youth teams and honing his skills. Jones was quick to develop his footballing instincts and showed a particular strength in his aerial ability, ball control, and powerful presence as a forward. As he progressed through his youth career, he gained attention from some of the top clubs in Trinidad and Tobago. By his late teens, he was already seen as one of the most promising young footballers in the country, and his ambitions were set on playing professionally both in Trinidad and Tobago and abroad. Early career in Trinidad and Tobago, Kenwyne Jones began his professional career with one of the top clubs in the Trinidad and Tobago Pro League, W Connection FC. The club, known for its youth development and commitment to producing top talent, provided Jones with the platform to showcase his abilities at the senior level. His time with W Connection was an important step in his development as a player, where he played alongside some of the most talented footballers in the country. His performances in the Pro League allowed him to display his incredible ability as a target man, using his strength, skill, and aerial dominance to make a significant impact. During his time at W Connection, Jones made a name for himself as one of the league's top strikers, and his goal-scoring exploits quickly garnered attention. His size and power made him a difficult opponent for defenders, and his clinical finishing made him one of the most feared forwards in the league. It wasn't long before scouts from abroad started to take notice of his talent. The next major step in Kenwyne Jones' career came when he made the move to Europe. His success in the Trinidad and Tobago Pro League earned him the opportunity to play on the international stage, where he would continue to hone his craft in one of the most competitive leagues in the world. Move to England and Premier League breakthrough. Kenwyne Jones's big break came in 2004 when he signed for English Premier League club Southampton. The move was a significant leap in his career, as he made the transition from the relatively unknown football scene in Trinidad and Tobago to one of the most high-profile leagues in the world. At Southampton, Jones was introduced to a level of competition and professionalism that challenged him to evolve as a player. At Southampton, Jones initially faced the challenge of adjusting to the pace and physicality of the Premier League, but his innate ability and raw potential quickly became apparent. His power in the air, combined with his physical attributes and technical skills, made him a constant threat in attacking positions. His first season at Southampton saw him gain valuable experience playing in one of Europe's most competitive leagues, although it would take some time for him to become a regular starter. Jones' breakthrough came when he was loaned to Championship club Sheffield Wednesday in 2005. His time at Sheffield Wednesday proved crucial in his development, as he gained regular first-team football and became the club's main attacking outlet. His powerful performances, particularly his goal-scoring contributions, cemented his reputation as a promising forward with great potential. It was clear that Jones had the ability to play at a higher level, and his performances in the Championship made a strong case for his return to the Premier League. Following his successful stint with Sheffield Wednesday, Jones returned to the Premier League, this time with a move to Sunderland in 2007. Sunderland had just been promoted back to the top flight and needed a striker to lead the line. Jones proved to be an excellent signing for the club, as he became their primary attacking weapon. His powerful runs, aerial prowess, and ability to score crucial goals quickly endeared him to the Sunderland faithful. Success at Sunderland and international career. Jones spent a significant portion of his career at Sunderland, where he played from 2007 to 2010. During his time with the club, he made over 80 appearances and scored numerous important goals. His partnership with fellow strikers and his ability to hold up the ball and bring others into play made him an essential player for Sunderland. He also became a key figure for the Trinidad and Tobago national team, representing his country in World Cup qualifiers and international tournaments. Jones's international career with the Trinidad and Tobago national team was a defining part of his footballing journey. Having made his senior debut in 2004, he quickly became one of the stars of the national team. He was part of the historic 2006 FIFA World Cup squad that qualified for the tournament in Germany, the first time in the country's history. Although Jones didn't feature heavily during the World Cup, his contribution to the qualification campaign was immense, and he became a symbol of Trinidad and Tobago's rise on the world stage. Throughout his international career, Jones earned over 100 caps for his country and became the national team's all-time top scorer. His ability to score goals in crucial moments and his leadership on the field made him a vital asset to the Soca Warriors. His performances in World Cup qualifiers, the CONCACAF Gold Cup and other regional competitions helped elevate Trinidad and Tobago's standing in international football. For his country, Jones was a player who embodied the spirit and pride of the nation. Later career and move to the United States. After his time at Sunderland, Kenwyne Jones continued his career with moves to other clubs in the Premier League and beyond. In 2010, he transferred to the Premier League club Stoke City, where he would spend several years playing at the top level. Jones became an important part of the team at Stoke, contributing to their offensive play with his height, strength, and aerial ability. His physical presence in the box made him a constant threat during set pieces, and his goal-scoring ability earned him respect in the Premier League. Jones remained with Stoke City for a few seasons, during which he was part of a team that achieved several notable finishes in the Premier League and competed in European competitions. His time at Stoke also marked an important period for his development as a player, as he continued to improve his technical skills while maintaining his physical prowess. In 2014, after several successful years in England, Kenwyne Jones made the move to Major League Soccer, MLS, in the United States, signing with the club, the Real Salt Lake. The move to the United States marked the next chapter in his career, where he continued to perform at a high level in a new environment. Although his playing time was limited due to injuries in the later stages of his career, Jones continued to show flashes of his previous brilliance, contributing with important goals and providing a strong presence up front. Early life and background. Ortis Whitley was born on February 2, 1981, in Trinidad and Tobago, a country renowned for its rich footballing tradition and deep passion for the sport. Growing up in a close-knit family, Whitley was introduced to football at a very young age, playing the sport in the streets with his friends and neighbors. The vibrant football culture of Trinidad and Tobago became an essential part of his life, and it was clear from early on that Whitley had a natural flair for the game. His early exposure to football helped nurture his love for the sport and set the foundation for his future career. Whitley was raised in the island's football community, where football was not only a sport but also a form of identity and pride. His family was supportive of his sporting ambitions, and they encouraged him to pursue his dreams. In Trinidad and Tobago, football is a sport that brings together communities, and Whitley was fortunate to grow up in an environment that valued athleticism and teamwork. This exposure to football from a young age helped Whitley develop the technical and tactical skills that would serve him well as he progressed in his career. As a child, Whitley displayed an exceptional talent for the game. His natural athleticism, combined with his determination and work ethic, helped him stand out in local competitions. His skills quickly caught the attention of coaches and football scouts. And it was evident that he had the potential to make a career out of football. By his early teenage years, Whitley had already begun playing for local teams, which marked the beginning of his football journey. Youth career and development. Ortis Whitley's talent did not go unnoticed, and he quickly moved through the ranks of local football in Trinidad and Tobago. He began his youth career at several prominent local clubs, where he refined his skills and learned the intricacies of the game. Whitley's time in the youth ranks was instrumental in shaping his footballing style, as he developed an understanding of the game's technical and tactical demands. One of the first major clubs Whitley joined was the prestigious W Connection FC, a club that has produced several top players for both club and country. At W Connection FC, Whitley was exposed to a higher level of competition and coaching, which helped him elevate his game. Playing alongside other talented players, Whitley quickly adapted to the more competitive environment and began to showcase his ability on the field. It was during this time that Whitley's technical ability as a midfielder became evident. Known for his vision, passing range, and composure on the ball, Whitley had the ability to dictate the tempo of the game and control the flow of play from the midfield. His intelligence on the ball and knack for breaking up opposition attacks earned him a reputation as one of the brightest young talents in Trinidad and Tobago football. Whitley's success at the youth level caught the attention of national team selectors, and in the early 2000s, he began to be called up to represent Trinidad and Tobago at various age group levels. His performances at the youth level were instrumental in his progression to the senior national team, as he demonstrated his ability to perform under pressure and showcase his talent on the international stage. National team debut. Ortie Whitley's impressive performances at the youth level earned him a call-up to the senior Trinidad and Tobago national team in 2001. His first senior cap marked the beginning of a long and successful international career. Whitley quickly became known for his skillful playmaking and his versatility in midfield, which allowed him to contribute to the team in various roles. His composure on the ball, combined with his ability to break up opposition attacks and link up play, made him a vital asset for the Soca Warriors. Whitley's first major international tournament with the national team came during the 2006 CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers. His performances in these qualifiers helped Trinidad and Tobago secure a place in the 2006 FIFA World Cup, a historic achievement for the country. Whitley's ability to control the midfield and maintain possession in tight situations was a key factor in the team's success during the qualifying campaign. Throughout the World Cup qualifiers, Whitley played an integral role in Trinidad and Tobago's rise to the global stage. His mature performances and leadership in midfield helped solidify the team's defensive shape while providing the attacking players with the support they needed to create chances. Whitley's contribution was recognized both by his teammates and the coaching staff, and he quickly became an essential part of the Soca Warriors setup. The 2006 FIFA World Cup. The 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany was a historic moment for Trinidad and Tobago football, as it was the first time the nation had ever qualified for the prestigious tournament. Ortie Whitley's contributions during the qualifying campaign were vital in securing the team's place in the tournament, and he was an important figure in the squad as Trinidad and Tobago made history by participating in the World Cup. During the tournament, Whitley played an important role in the team's midfield, contributing both defensively and offensively. While Trinidad and Tobago did not progress past the group stages, their performances in the World Cup were widely praised, and they earned respect for their efforts against stronger opponents. Whitley's composure in midfield and ability to link up play helped the team in their games against England, Sweden, and Paraguay. One of Whitley's standout performances came in the match against Sweden, where Trinidad and Tobago managed to secure a 0-0 draw. This result was seen as a tremendous achievement for a team making its World Cup debut. Whitley was instrumental in keeping the Swedish midfield at bay, breaking up attacks and maintaining possession under pressure. The match showcased his ability to perform on the world stage and proved that he could compete at the highest level. Though Trinidad and Tobago did not progress beyond the group stage, the World Cup experience was invaluable for Whitley and the rest of the team. Whitley's performances on the global stage earned him further recognition, and his reputation as one of the country's top midfielders continued to grow. Club career in Europe and the United States. In the years following the World Cup, Ortie Whitley's club career saw him transition to both European and American football. After his time with W Connection FC in Trinidad and Tobago, he moved abroad to gain further experience and develop his game. Whitley spent time playing in Sweden with Östers IF and in the United States with Major League Soccer's MLS club, New England Revolution. In Sweden, Whitley showcased his qualities in midfield, helping his club compete at a high level. His time in Sweden allowed him to improve his technical skills and adapt to the more physical style of play found in European football. At Östers IF, Whitley was known for his tireless work rate and leadership, and his performances earned him a solid reputation in Swedish football. In the United States, Whitley played for the New England Revolution, where he continued to impress with his midfield abilities. He was able to adapt to the fast-paced style of MLS and played a key role in the Revolution's success in domestic competitions. Whitley's ability to distribute the ball and his intelligence on the field made him an important player for the club. Early life and background. Colin Samuel was born on November 15, 1982, in the capital city of Trinidad and Tobago, Port of Spain. Growing up in a country where football is one of the most beloved sports, Samuel's journey to becoming a professional footballer began early. Raised in a working-class family, Samuel was introduced to the world of football by his parents, who recognized his passion for the sport from a young age. Like many children in Trinidad and Tobago, Samuel played football with his friends in the streets and local parks, showcasing his natural talent and love for the game. Samuel's early years were defined by a strong sense of community and local pride, especially in the footballing culture of his home country. The streets of Port of Spain were filled with football games, often organized by local teams or friends, where Samuel spent much of his time practicing his skills. By the age of 12, Samuel was already showing signs of his potential, possessing impressive speed, technical skill, and a natural ability to read the game. He began playing for various youth teams in his community, quickly earning recognition for his performances on the field. As a teenager, Samuel's talents were impossible to overlook. His skills were not just limited to playing for local clubs, he also joined his school's football team and began playing at a competitive level. His quickness, agility, and attacking mindset made him a standout player. By the time he reached 16, he was playing for Trinidad and Tobago's youth national teams, where he gained valuable experience that would set the stage for his future career. Move to professional football. Samuel's first taste of professional football came at the age of 18 when he joined the local club team San Juan Jablote. One of the most successful clubs in Trinidad and Tobago, Jablote played a pivotal role in Samuel's development as a professional player. It was at Jablote where he gained exposure to a higher level of competition, significantly improving his skills and understanding of the game. During his time at Jablote, Samuel proved to be a versatile player capable of playing in multiple positions, but he became most renowned for his role as an attacking midfielder or forward. Known for his speed, dribbling ability, and clinical finishing, Samuel became a key player for the team. His performances for Jablote caught the attention of scouts from around the world, and it wasn't long before he was offered the opportunity to play abroad. Samuel's development at San Juan Jablote laid the foundation for his rise in international football, and it also marked the beginning of his career in European football. He honed his skills in the club's competitive environment and became a vital figure in the team's success. His performances in both domestic and international competitions helped him gain a reputation as one of Trinidad and Tobago's brightest young talents. Transition to Europe. In 2003, at the age of 21, Colin Samuel took the bold step of moving to Europe to further his career. He signed with Scottish Premier League side Dundee United, a decision that would define the next chapter of his professional career. Moving to a new continent and competing in one of Europe's more competitive leagues was a massive challenge for Samuel. But it was a challenge he embraced with enthusiasm and determination. Samuel's transition to the Scottish Premier League was not without difficulties. The pace of the game in Scotland was faster and more physically demanding than anything he had encountered before, but Samuel quickly adapted. His speed, technical skills, and natural flair made him a threat in attack, and his performances in training soon earned him a starting spot in the first team. During his time at Dundee United, Samuel became a fan favorite due to his exciting style of play and his ability to provide both assists and goals. His tenure at Dundee United was filled with highs and lows. While the team faced its struggles in the league, Samuel's individual performances were a consistent bright spot. He formed strong partnerships with other players, using his pace to stretch defenses and create space for his teammates. Samuel's time in Scotland also served to expose him to the higher levels of European football, a learning experience that would prepare him for bigger challenges in the future. Success at Heart of Midlothian. In 2006, Colin Samuel made a high-profile move within Scottish football, transferring to Heart of Midlothian, one of Scotland's biggest clubs. This move represented a step up in his career, as Hearts were competing at the top end of the Scottish Premier League and participating in European competitions. Samuel joined a team that included several notable players and was managed by a group of experienced coaches. At Hearts, Samuel found success both domestically and internationally. He became known for his high-energy performances and his attacking contributions. Whether operating as a winger or as a forward, Samuel's pace and creativity made him a constant threat to opposition defenses. He quickly became an important player in Hearts' squad, playing a key role in their push for European qualification. During his time at Hearts, Samuel continued to develop as a player, with his ability to provide assists and score goals becoming more refined. His attacking instincts, combined with his work rate and professionalism, endeared him to the Hearts faithful. The club's success during Samuel's time there included regular appearances in the UEFA Cup, now the Europa League, where they competed against top clubs from across Europe. Although injuries and fitness issues occasionally hampered his consistency, Samuel's time at Hearts represented the peak of his club career in Scotland. His performances helped to solidify his reputation as one of the top attacking players in the league, and his international prospects remained strong. International career with Trinidad and Tobago. Colin Samuel's international career with the Trinidad and Tobago national team began in the early 2000s, and he was an integral part of the team's successful World Cup qualification campaign for the 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany. Samuel's attacking contributions, speed, and creativity made him a key player for the Soca Warriors during this period. Samuel played in several critical matches during the World Cup qualification process, showcasing his skills on the international stage. His ability to assist goals and score himself was vital in helping Trinidad and Tobago secure a place in their first ever World Cup. The Soca Warriors' qualification for the 2006 tournament was a landmark moment in Trinidad and Tobago's football history, and Samuel was proud to be part of the team that made it possible. During the 2006 FIFA World Cup, Samuel represented Trinidad and Tobago in their historic matches against teams like England, Sweden, and Paraguay. Although the team did not make it past the group stage, the experience of competing at such a high level was invaluable for Samuel and his teammates. Samuel's pace and attacking flair were on display throughout the tournament, and he continued to represent his country with pride. Following the World Cup, Samuel remained a key player for the national team, making appearances in various competitions, including the CONCACAF Gold Cup. He continued to provide assists, score goals, and bring creativity to the Trinidad and Tobago attack. His involvement in the national team helped to inspire the next generation of footballers in his home country, where his success on the international stage was celebrated as a proud achievement for Trinidad and Tobago.
The beginning. Dwight Yorke was born on November 3, 1971, in Canaan, Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago. Raised in a family of 9 siblings, Yorke's athletic abilities were apparent from a young age. His natural flair for football was nurtured on the streets and sandy pitches of his island home. Spotted by an Aston Villa scout during a friendly match in 1989, Yorke's journey to professional football began when he was invited to England for a trial. Impressed by his skill, athleticism, and versatility, Aston Villa signed him shortly after, marking the start of a career that would place him among the legends of the game. Career peak. Yorke quickly rose through the ranks at Aston Villa, initially playing as a winger before transitioning into a striker role, where his goal-scoring prowess shone. During his 9-year tenure at the club, Yorke became a fan favorite, known for his sharp finishing, agility, and infectious smile. He scored 97 goals in 287 appearances for Aston Villa, helping the club win the 1996 Football League Cup and consistently perform in the English Premier League. Yorke's career reached its peak following his move to Manchester United in 1998 for a then-club record fee of £12.6 million. Under Sir Alex Ferguson's management, Yorke thrived as part of a formidable strike partnership with Andy Cole. The 1998-99 season became the defining period of his career as Yorke played a pivotal role in Manchester United's historic treble-winning campaign, securing the Premier League, FA Cup, and UEFA Champions League titles. Yorke's contributions were immense, scoring 29 goals in all competitions and earning the Premier League Golden Boot and PFA Team of the Year honors. His flair, vision, and ability to deliver in crucial moments solidified his status as one of the world's premier forwards. Main achievements. Yorke's career is defined by several significant achievements. His instrumental role in Manchester United's treble triumph remains his crowning glory, with his performances in the Champions League particularly memorable. His partnership with Andy Cole produced some of the most iconic moments in the club's history, including their telepathic interplay against Barcelona and Juventus. Internationally, Yorke represented Trinidad and Tobago with distinction, earning over 70 caps and scoring 19 goals. He was the captain of the Soca Warriors during their historic qualification for the 2006 FIFA World Cup, the country's first-ever appearance in the tournament. At 34 years old, Yorke led by example in the World Cup, delivering standout performances and earning praise for his leadership and midfield versatility, even against elite opponents. Yorke also achieved success outside of England, including stints with Blackburn Rovers, Birmingham City, Sydney FC, and Sunderland. His time at Sydney FC in the A-League's inaugural season was particularly noteworthy, as he led the team to the championship and was named the tournament's Player of the Year. Last year's. As Yorke's playing career began to wind down, he transitioned into a mentoring and ambassadorial role. His final professional stint came with Sunderland, where he contributed to the club's promotion to the Premier League in 2007. Yorke retired in 2009, leaving behind a legacy as one of the greatest footballers to emerge from the Caribbean. Following his retirement, Yorke pursued coaching and football-related ventures. He earned his UEFA coaching badges and expressed interest in managerial roles, often advocating for greater representation of Caribbean players in global football. As an ambassador for Manchester United and Trinidad and Tobago football, Yorke used his influence to inspire young athletes and promote the sport in his homeland. Dwight Yorke's story is one of talent, determination, and global impact. From humble beginnings in Tobago to lifting the Champions League trophy on football's grandest stage, Yorke's journey exemplifies the heights that can be reached through passion and perseverance. His contributions to football, both on and off the pitch, have left an indelible mark on the sport.
Early life and background. Sid Gray, born on December 5, 1980, in Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago, was destined to make his mark in the world of football. Raised in the vibrant community of Tobago, Gray's early years were shaped by the rich cultural backdrop of the island, where football is not just a sport but a way of life. Like many young boys in the Caribbean, Gray grew up playing football with his friends in the streets and on makeshift pitches. The football culture in Trinidad and Tobago is deeply ingrained, with young players often dreaming of following in the footsteps of legends like Dwight Yorke and Russell Latapi, both of whom were key figures for the national team during their respective careers. Gray's journey to becoming a professional footballer began at a young age. He showed an early aptitude for the sport, standing out due to his speed, athleticism, and natural talent. His ability to read the game and defend with confidence caught the attention of local coaches and football scouts, who saw great potential in the young defender. It was clear from an early stage that Gray was more than just a gifted athlete, he had the mindset and passion to succeed in the world of football. Gray's talent did not go unnoticed in Tobago, and by his teenage years, he was playing for local clubs. He honed his skills in the regional leagues, steadily building his reputation as a promising defender. His rise through the ranks was accelerated by his undeniable work ethic and his commitment to improving every aspect of his game. Early club career in Trinidad and Tobago. Before moving abroad to play professionally, Sid Gray spent his formative years at several local football clubs in Trinidad and Tobago, where he began to make a name for himself. His first major club experience came when he joined the Trinidad and Tobago Football Federation's youth team, which provided him with the opportunity to showcase his talents in a more competitive environment. The transition from local leagues to a more organized, structured competition helped Gray develop both his physical and tactical abilities. After spending time with the youth ranks, Gray's career trajectory continued to ascend. He played for several clubs in Trinidad and Tobago, including notable stints at the Tobago-based team, W Connection FC. During this period, Gray's performances caught the eye of national team selectors, and his potential to represent Trinidad and Tobago at a higher level began to materialize. Gray's time at W Connection FC was marked by steady growth and success, as the club was one of the most prominent in the Caribbean. His defensive consistency and leadership on the pitch helped the team achieve notable victories in regional competitions. It was during these years that Gray began to solidify his status as one of the top defenders in the Caribbean and a key player in Trinidad and Tobago football. International debut and rise to prominence. Sid Gray's rise to prominence in domestic football soon translated into an international career. His hard work and performances did not go unnoticed, and in 2002, Gray made his debut for the Trinidad and Tobago national football team. His international debut was an important moment in his career, marking the beginning of his long association with the national team, affectionately known as the Soca Warriors. Gray's solid defensive displays, coupled with his ability to read the game and anticipate opposition attacks, made him a mainstay in the national squad. His first few years with the national team saw him earn a reputation as a reliable and disciplined defender, known for his ability to cope with the physicality and speed of international football. The Soca Warriors were building a strong team during this period, and Gray was a crucial figure in their rise to prominence. As Gray's international career continued to evolve, he became one of the central figures in the Trinidad and Tobago defense. His leadership qualities were clear, and he often served as a guiding force for the younger players around him. His performances were instrumental in the team's successful qualification for the 2006 FIFA World Cup, a historic achievement for the nation. The 2006 FIFA World Cup. The 2006 FIFA World Cup in Germany was the pinnacle of Sid Gray's international career. It was the first time that Trinidad and Tobago had qualified for the World Cup, and Gray's contribution to the team's success during the qualification campaign was immense. As part of a squad that boasted other notable players such as Dwight Yorke and Russell Latipi, Gray played a key defensive role, helping to guide the Soca Warriors through a difficult and competitive qualification process. During the World Cup itself, Gray was part of the squad that made history by securing a place in the tournament. Although the Soca Warriors did not progress beyond the group stage, their performances were commendable, and they earned a great deal of respect on the world stage. Gray's defensive prowess and leadership on the field were crucial in helping the team hold their own against teams like England, Sweden, and Paraguay. In Trinidad and Tobago's opening match against Sweden, Gray played a key role in keeping the Swedish attack at bay, with the game ending in a 0-0 draw. This result was an incredible achievement for the nation, and it highlighted Gray's ability to step up under pressure. Despite being placed in a tough group, the Soca Warriors, with Gray's leadership in the defense, fought valiantly and showcased the strength of Trinidad and Tobago football on the world's biggest stage. European club career, a move to Sweden. After the 2006 World Cup, Sid Gray's reputation as a solid and dependable defender only grew, and his performances on the international stage earned him a move to Sweden, where he would further his career in European football. In 2007, he signed with Östers IF, a club in Sweden's Allsvenskan, the top division of Swedish football. This move marked the next chapter in Gray's career, as he transitioned to playing in a more competitive European environment. Gray's time at Östers IF was marked by his leadership at the back and his ability to organize the defense. The Swedish league was known for its tactical discipline, and Gray's experience and intelligence on the field allowed him to quickly adapt to the style of play. His time in Sweden proved to be a fruitful period in his career, as he gained invaluable experience in European football and continued to improve his defensive attributes. At Östers IF, Gray became an important figure for the team. His performances in both league and cup competitions helped to elevate the club's profile in Swedish football. He formed a solid partnership with his fellow defenders, and his physical presence, combined with his tactical awareness, made him one of the top defenders in the league during his tenure at the club. Return to Trinidad and Tobago and later career. After several years playing in Sweden, Sid Gray returned to Trinidad and Tobago to continue his football career. He played for several clubs in the local leagues, including stints with his former club, W Connection FC, and other teams in the TT Pro League. His return to Trinidad and Tobago marked the end of his European adventure but also allowed him to contribute to the development of the local football scene. During this time, Gray became an ambassador for the game in Trinidad and Tobago, working with younger players and passing on the lessons he had learned during his years of international and European experience. He also continued to be involved with the Trinidad and Tobago national team, contributing as a mentor to the next generation of Soca Warriors.